And it doesn't matter how much money you have, to give back to the community. You might have no money to give to the community, but my parents aren't wealthy, but my mom every Wednesday is at the food pantry for a couple hours every day. She brings clothes over there, she serves food to people, and then you got someone like Bruce who's like, I hear so many great stories about him, buying the Jaws of Life for the fire department over here in Asbury. I think somebody told me that story. And they were like, how did he know we needed the Jaws of Life? And somebody, he found out somehow, and like, next thing you know, this great piece of equipment, life-saving piece of equipment shows up at the, I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
About the truck.
Yeah, and about the fire truck. So, anyway, yeah.
How about the other band members?
And photography? Well, you can't go wrong photographing Clarence Clemens. So he actually, I love Clarence, and he's always, if he sees me out, in the crowd shooting photographs, he's always like giving me the little look, And recently he said something like, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to give you something to shoot tonight." So he's always, he loves the camera. The camera loves him. And his new book, I'm actually proud to say that I have the photograph on the cover of his new book that's coming out. So I was excited about that. And everybody else is, like I said, I'm very, happy. I've really included everybody in here. I didn't want it to be just like a bunch of Bruce faces in here, and I'm sure he didn't want it to be that way either. And these are people who have been, covering his ass for all these years, and helping bring the music.
Did he come in to see you?
He hasn't come in to see it yet, but he has said that he will. And I was just thinking, Timmy put out a birthday cupcake for him the other day on Wednesday, and so it's not lit yet. So if you come back and it's lit and it looks like it's been blown out, then you'll know he's been here. He
runs the bike marks in it. You've got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He said he's going to show up. He's a busy guy, but he's usually true to his word, and I'm sure he's interested in getting down here to see it. Yeah. It's till the 4th. So if you come every day, so October 4th. Yeah. I'm hoping I'll be here when he comes. I'm like, hey, if you're going, let me know. I keep telling him. So, yeah.
How was the Elvis Costello?
It was good. Last night, Elvis Costello and Bruce played at the Apollo, and it was pretty cool. Elvis came out and sang some Springsteen songs, and then they played some songs together. Nils played a song of his, and it was pretty cool, actually. And Bruce told stories, and as you know, he's a good storyteller. Yeah.
Did you get to photograph that?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it was cool.
Will you be doing any of the upcoming Spectrum shows, the last?
I hope to. I know I have a gig that's taken me out of the country for like 10 days, and they keep shifting it, and I'm like, no, shift it. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to see the Pearl Jam shows over there too. Yeah.
Do you have plans to turn this into a book?
Eventually, yeah. It's a good start. My wife, we were talking about it this morning, and she said, well, it's a good start. You've talked about doing a book of Bruce images, and it's kind of weird to me. I feel like I'm not done yet. I'm like, oh, I'm not done. Do I want to do a book when I'm not really done yet? But I guess, yeah, book number 1, book number 2. So, anything else?
Do you have any special recollections of this picture you took of Danny of that day or that hour? Or?
Yeah, you know what? That was, what year was that? Can somebody tell me?
2002.
2002? They were rehearsing over here at the convention hall, which I've written on here, Convention Center, I know, but that's what I called it all through growing up, and I know Timmy yelled at me. Everybody else has yelled at me, so if you buy a print, I will change it to Convention Hall. And, but I was photographing, I knew it was going to be maybe for some toy book stuff and maybe album packaging. And so I was going around trying to grab each one of the band members and pull them aside and grab some photographs. And so Danny was like, you know, he came out and he was leaning. He's like, yeah, well, what do you want me to do? You know, he's leaning against the wall, and I was like, I don't know, it's good. You know, I was photographing. And I thought, where's that accordion? Because you always look like you're having so much fun with that accordion. And he's like, I'll get the accordion. And he goes running off and comes back, and he was just like, you know, like, this is much better than like leaning against the wall, you know. And I always find that you know, most musicians, if you can stick an instrument in their hands, their shoulders relax, and you know, and then they just kind of go into their own little world. And as you can tell by my style of pictures, you know, that's the moment I'm looking for. Is that little off moment, you know, not necessarily the looking at the camera and grinning moment. Yeah.
Want to take a picture of the crowd? You got the
camera?
camera?
Yeah, I got the camera. We all have to squeeze in though. I don't have But I'm actually happy. I have to say, I'm really happy you guys came out, and it's so enjoyable for me to come to Asbury Park. It's kind of surreal, you know. I mean, I grew up around here, and I was here 10 years ago when you know, this was really run down. It was really sad. But it's so cool to see, you know, a whole bunch of people in here. And we've had local music in here the last couple weeks too. We had Nicole Atkins played for us the night we opened, a band called River City Extension. Steve Riley, of course, was here. Timmy, what was the name of the other guys? The Roebucks. The Roebucks? The Roebucks. The Sears couldn't make it. And Steve. And actually, Joe Krzyzewski came over here this afternoon with his guitar and played a couple of songs, and that was really cool. Just to, like, you know, it's just to infuse the room with, like, you know, the energy of music and stuff was really cool. So, yeah. Ready for the group photo?
Absolutely. Yep. We need a photo. You're like a rock star.
I'm just going to go this way and get you all.
Come on, Dave. It's your idea.
If you can't see me, I can't see you. But there we go. Okay. Here we go. Not that far. There's Lori. Oh, by the way, Lori and I went to photo school together. And she told me that she runs a business now with her husband. It's a darkroom business. And who doesn't know, but can tell me what it's called? Do you know it?
Dark room on the edge of town.
Dark room on the edge of town. Hello.
What did I win?
So, let's look around at the photos, and you know, if anybody's got any other questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thanks a lot.
Woo!